What's cracking with you people? This is the Devious Wolf and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Star Wars Republic Commando. In the last one, I went on a rant. And in this one, we're just going to see what happens, honestly. And we're going to deal with you and all that stuff. So last time I was talking about how I thought that
Destroy that landing pad.
guys, where's landing pad over here? You know what? Bump the dumb stuff. We're just going to nah, hold on for a second just in case. But I went on a thing saying how I thought that Revenge of the Sith was probably the weakest film in the Star Wars franchise. Even though it has, and the weird thing is that it's not bad in the sense that the movie's outright horrible. I'm kind of tired of that mentality of you don't think something's all that good, so obviously you think it sucks. Not necessarily. My issue is not that the movie's bad. As a matter of fact, I think it has some pretty good moments in there. The thing is that it just felt rushed. Yep, scores the base on their level. I just feel like episode 3 was rushed, you know? Like you blink and it's over. And I'm not certain if that's because I found the writing boring and wanted it to end, or if not a lot happened. Okay, so we're just gonna try to deal with that. I am completely out of ammo for this gun. So we're just gonna go around and pistol whip. Pistol whip. Pistol whip. Pistol whip. This is where that pack on the back really is just like the ultimate weak points, because you just do this right here. Well, not that, but screw it. Oh, well. They're gonna kill him next time we kill him. Do we see the rocket launcher? Yes, we do. You can do that right there. Someone gets Sev up.
This place is more than just a Trando supply base.
You know what?
The Separatists are definitely involved.
And hold up. Boom. Oh. Well, as you can see, there's a rocket homed in on the super battle droid. So I'm gonna do a recall and revive just to be on the safe side. They have enough health, and I think I killed one of them instantly. The rocket launcher, I think, is an instant kill for anything, so it should have done enough damage. Nope, did not. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're going to kill.
Oh, not these guys.
Okay, so now I think I do this right here, and there it is. That's how you do it. You gotta wait for it to flash. Oh, we're out of ammo. Alright, well, let's get one of these, because we're out of ammo for pretty much every gun I have. But the thing with episode 3 is that I don't remember much from it. I remember the movie ended really fast, and I don't think it was any shorter than any of the other Star Wars movies out there. But I do remember that I keep getting that wrong. But I do remember that it ended really fast. And I felt myself wanting more. Like, it just felt really disappointing. And there were some good moments in Republic Commando, make no mistake. Uh-oh, we got a rocket turret. And there were some good moments in Republic Commando. There were some good moments in Revenge of the Sith. I just felt like there just wasn't much going on. Especially for the movie that essentially is, we get to the point, you know, this is Darth Vader. That was the whole point of Revenge of the Sith. Is that we pretty much got Darth Vader. That was the whole point of that whole section. So, for that particular, we're going to...
Let's move on.
Well, I think we're good here. I don't think we need to go over... Oh, wait. Yes, we do. Okay, let's go there. I mean, that's the whole point of the trilogy. The whole point of the trilogy was, you know, show how the Empire got to where it was. And the fights were very good in Revenge of the Sith. I thought it was some of the better fights in the series, especially at the end between Obi-Wan and Anakin. I felt like that that was the only way that could have ended. It's just that it felt like there was a lot missing, and then there are all these rumors and speculations going around about how there was going to be some alternate scenes. I think everybody and their mom has heard about the Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord rumor.
The Separatists are using the space as a staging area for the attack
Um,
on the Wookiees. Copy that.
and that he's just playing dumb to lull people into a false sense of security. I think that would have been a better way of doing it. Like, this is something that me and my brother actually went back and forth on one day, and I do have to acknowledge this because I think he has a point. Writing backwards, because the people forget. Okay, we're just gonna do this right here. If I time this right, there you go. And that's how you contend with a headache.
Arrange some architecture, Delta.
But when you write backwards, you run the risk of creating a continuity error. You also run the risk of getting stuff completely and utterly wrong, which I think the biggest example of this that I can think of was in the Kingdom Hearts universe. The Kingdom Hearts universe, at some point they wrote backwards and did Birth by Sleep. Now, Birth by Sleep is supposed to take place many years before the events of the original Kingdom Hearts series. Here's the issue. One of the lines in Kingdom Hearts is that King Mickey banished Pete to to some dark dimension, and we know it's King Mickey because Goofy especially says his Highness. Well, we get the Birth by Sleep, and suddenly it's Queen Minnie who's banishing Pete for some freaking reason, and Mickey's off doing something or another. Oh my! Okay, you know what we really should have said. Here's what we're gonna do. You get over there, because what you can do is we can hack this right here and do what we did to the Super Power Droid dispenser. And let me do this right here, and oh, does it automatically? Okay, sweet. But oh my goodness. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. Oh, nice. Well, that makes it a heck of a lot simpler.
Delta, let's get out of here.
We're not going far, Delta. The Separatists are planting their flag in Kashyyyk, and it's up to us to yank it out.
Yeah. And there it is. That's the end of that mission. No, we're gonna continue on here with the bridge at Kachirho. That's an interesting name. The tide of battle now turns on one crucial link. The bridge of Kachirho is the artery of the Separatist supply line. Fight to the midway point and destroy it to choke further Separatist advance. Essentially, we're pulling I think it was one of the battles of Britain, I want to say, where they blew up several bridges to stop the advance of enemy troops. That's essentially what we're doing.
The Separatists have touched down and are starting to deploy. Your squad must reach the weakest point on this bridge, a narrow span in the center, and destroy it. That will sever the link between Separatists and Wookiee territory. Move fast. If the Separatists reach the span first, they'll make your job a lot harder.
Roger that. The Wookiees are spread thin. They'll help us wherever they can.
Okay. And a Wookiee bowcaster. Yes. Oh baby, I love this tank. But yeah, it's like, and when you write backwards, especially when you get to something like Star Wars, it's very clear. It's very clear what happens in Star Wars. Like you really can't tap dance around. You can't put some clever twist on it. So you have to make it a very emotional thing. And that's the only way you could have told the prequel series if it was going to lead into the original series.
There's seals to slow the enemy down. Find a side route around each bulkhead. If
And
we access to the main routes, we can force the separatists
when you do that, when you write backwards in that capacity, it's very easy to mess that up.
Got a breach here.
Looks like the Wookiees need to work on their welding skills.
recommend you put a couple of thermals in that breach.
I missed. Oh, also the bullets bounce.
Any further incursions.
We're gonna save that.
Take them out from there, Delta.
I still love that animation, no matter what anybody says. But that's more or less my problem. When you get to that point, and you have to, I mean, if you absolutely have to do a prequel series, there's only two ways you can really do it.
One more down.
You can do what Star Wars Knights of the Republic did, and do a prequel series set so far in the past, so far predating the events of the current timeline, that it doesn't really matter what happens, you know? It's its own continuity, it's something exciting, something new, and it can be forgotten.
This is a schematic of the Kachia-Ho Bridge, Delta. It connects the lower city to the main citadel. The bridge itself is joined in the middle by a small center span. It acts as a linchpin between the two halves. Separatist advance parties have already reached this side of the bridge and are attempting to clear a path for the main invasion force. Once you've reached the center span, you will place a demo charge at this point. It's an expansion joint between the two sections. Destroy this bridge and stop the Separatists in their tracks. Good luck, Delta.
So there's our mission. We're just gonna blow up the bridge.
Delta Squad, secure
But-
the rocket concourse.
Now's my chance to pick up those bandoliers I've always wanted.
Oh, we're going to use a Wookiee corpse as a. Oh, this is. Oh my.
Delta, empty.
A
Pressing fire on those
lot of demolition points. Actually, no. We're gonna take you off of that, and we're gonna put you right there. Okay. Over here. Now we're gonna discharge that. And yeah, like you either make a very you either set the story so far in the past. Oh, Wookiee rocket launcher. If you need that, we'll come back and get it. But you just set it so far back in the past. Oh my.
Notions have breached the concourse.
I never would have guessed.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick this up just in case we need it, because you never know, you might.
Bring that tree branch down. That should hold them.
Where is it? Yep. Need this rocket launcher for this, actually. Do that. Do this right here. This is kind of a scripted sequence, but you really can't tell, you know? And so we only got 3 rockets left in this thing, so while 3 rockets would be good, I think at this point we should use one of these. And just wait till another rocket launcher presents itself. Never mind, I have a better idea. We're going to pick this rocket launcher back up again. Like I said, this game, I completely forget something sometimes.
Good job, Delta.
Oh.
The market concourse is secure.
Well, he's dead.
Loading dock.
Probably more advantageous to pick up this thing right here. I'm gonna go ahead and reload. But excuse me, sir, are you still alive up there? Here, gonna take your knees out. Right in the knee. Gangsta style. Or mob off style, whatever. We should still do it. I'm surprised we're going to do this right here. And I'm going to bust in there like freaking Scarface. But when you do write backwards and you have to you either set it really far in the past, I've gone over that already, or you have to make the events of the prequel very emotional. Like the whole, and I think that was what the prequel series was going for. They wanted to make Darth Vader a tragic hero. That's what a tragic a fallen hero. That's what they wanted to do. The problem is that the way it went about it, in order to make that a tragic thing, in a prequel, keep this in mind, it's a prequel. So you know he's gonna fall. The question is whether or not you care about the actual fall itself. And in that capacity, you have to have a very, very emotional script, very emotive, and you have to make the reasons why very either incredibly relatable or just completely cruel and just completely cruel and unusual. They lost any chance of doing that the moment they made him Jesus.
Advisor mode to night vision delta, full spectrum enhancement.
I forgot about the mines in the dock. But because of that,
Take care of it.
because of that inability to
It's live. Get some distance.
Pick that sequencer up.
I'm going to throw a flash grenade then.
It's live. Get some distance. Nice hit.
There you go. And because of the fact that they have some good actors that I think could have portrayed very diverse characters. Like more than anything, the prequel series needed more character, and I maintain that more than anything else. It's still a good series, in my opinion. In my honest opinion, I do think that the prequel series is good enough in its own right. It just needed a lot more character behind it, because the crux of that. Okay, got another guy on the thing there. Because the crux of that whole, the crux of that kind of riding backwards, if you have to do it, is that you essentially need characters who are memorable, who are likable, who you love, who you get invested in. And the moment they made Anakin essentially a metaphor for Jesus, or a metaphor for a holy birth, I should say, some divine birth, the moment they did that, you pretty much lost any chance of making him relatable. I mean, the only thing they had left was the mom, and they kind of sugarcoat that. They kind of sugarcoat what happens to the mother. Because the whole point is that this guy essentially feels like the Jedi are not doing what the Jedi set themselves up to do. That, for lack of a better term, they're just kind of lazy. And if anyone here has actually played Knights of the Republic, that's kind of the case there. I would argue that BioWare made Star Wars Knights of the Republic just to show that you could do the prequel series story and make it work. Because the backstory of the Knights of the Republic, and it's not something that you actually play through in the game. It's something that is repeatedly mentioned in the first game and the second Knights of the Republic. That there was a war called the Mandalorian Wars, and that the Jedi seemed content to just sit around and let the Mandalorians have their way with the universe. Sev? What the heck was that? Like, he just kinda... Sev, are you a Jedi?
Moving to position.
Pack it up, Delta.
Are you a Jedi?
Get some back.
Because literally you just kinda force-stabbed the guy. Like, you kinda Jedi mind-tricked him into stabbing himself, what it essentially seemed like. Like, you just kind of forced seppuku them. It's like what the heck, man? But yeah, it's like, it just seemed like the whole point of Knights of the Republic was just to prove that you could do the prequel series story and have it work. And in effect, it did. It did work. I'm not going to spoil the entire thing because it plays out a little bit differently. But the intent is still there. It essentially is the prequel series story, or at least the idea that prequel series was trying to explore. And it worked. It did. In my opinion, it did anyway.
Pack it up, Delta.
I mean, it's hailed as one of the greatest RPGs of all time for a reason. But because the prequel series did not want to let the characters emote, you know, let them kind of play with the script, let them kind of develop some kind of chemistry with the actors at the very least. Because they have some really good actors, especially the guy who played Jango Fett.
The city will be lost.
Especially Jango Fett, it just seems like a wasted opportunity and all that. And it could have had the potential to be one of the better stories in Star Wars, like one of the better sci-fi stories out there. And because the characters were just too stiff and rigid and didn't have any flexibility in the script, it just kind of comes off as a little bit disappointing. At any rate, that's enough ranting for this episode. We're going to let Scorch and them kill off these guys.
To hold that spanner, it's going to be a nightmare for the infantry.
And we're going to call it for now. I've been a Devious Wolf, and I will flashbang these guys and catch you later.